Kia ora, I'm Julia from Cheeky Parrot Games. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks to the Wellycon organizers for finding a way for Cheeky to be involved in the digital Wellycon this year. Cheeky Parrot just celebrated 6 years in business, and we've always come down to Wellycon. It's a friendly event, as you know, and we look forward to seeing our fans and our Wellington-based retailers every year, running ideas by you and, just playing a whole bunch of games and having a good time. And you might hear the budgies chirping in the background. I guess they want to be part of this too. So I thought I would spend the time today talking about the 2 games I was really looking forward to showing you at Wellycon. And then at the end I have a quick special announcement that might be of interest to people who play games on the Board Game Arena digital platform, which has been a real godsend during the lockdowns. So without further ado, this is Flipology, which you might remember because we had a prototype in play at the event last year. Flipology was a collaboration with first-time designer Rachel Riley, and Tim Kingslin did the artwork. You may know that Tim also did the artwork for our Horde game. We think he's really outdone himself here, and this might just be Cheeky Parrot's prettiest game so far, especially if you're an animal lover. And it does have a cheeky parrot in it. In the basic game, you're dealt 9 cards, and you choose 7 to arrange in a face-down row in front of you. The cards show an environmental element, or more than one of 20 different animals, and you see they also have a point value, and some of them have an effect. You only get 3 turns. On your turn you flip any one of your cards up or down and apply its effect if there is one. Here the frog flips a card 2 cards over, which is actually a sloth in an opponent's row. Generally you want your cards face up at the end of the game to score their points, but sloths and koalas don't like to be disturbed and score negatively if they're face up at the end of the game. Play with the optional moon card to throw another fork in the works. If it's face up in someone's row at the end of the game, the lowest scoring player wins. Normally it's the highest scoring player. Flipology is for 2 to 8 players. There's a bit of reading, so we've said age 6 and up. We've found it scales beautifully. It can be lots of fun with 2 people. In a bigger group, and we've run some big groups at Board Games by the Bay tournaments, you can have a lot of fun going all the way around the table, monkeying with other people's rows of cards. Here's an overview of the components, and it's boxed in our trademark one-piece magnetic closure box. The directions include instructions for an advanced variant of Flipology for 2 to 4 players. And we've got a recommended retail price of just $20 on Flipology. If you like the cut of its jib, those are our Wellington retailers. And you can find a complete list of brick-and-mortar and online retailers on the Cheeky Parrot Games website. Hello again. I'd like to introduce you to Glimstone Grab, a game under development. This game was invented by Jono McGarvey. Jono's a father to 3 young girls, and he's the buyer for Pop Stop, one of our retailers in Christchurch. This game represents something old and something new for Cheeky Parrot. We've decided to set it in the universe of Horde, our best-selling game, and you'll see that Esmeralda features again as a protagonist in this new game. We also have Tim Kingslin on board to do the artwork, and I'll show you some of what he's been working on. What's new about this game for Cheeky Parrot is that it's a cooperative game, so it represents some challenges in getting the win-loss ratio correct in the easy and difficult settings. Jono and I were really looking forward to putting this game through its paces with you at Wellycon, and we hope we'll have a chance to introduce you to it in the near future. In the meantime, here's an overview. Glimstone Grab is set in the town of Much Midland, an average sort of place, but for the magical glimstones that can be found in its forest. Naturally, the gems attract the town's children who love to play with them, but recently, something bad happened. A fearsome foursome of loathsome trolls, each more disgusting than the next, has settled into a clearing in the forest where they tend to snatch the children, whether for lunch or slavery we do not know. Troubled by this turn of events, the good wizard Widdershins has flown in to the rescue, recruiting his gem-hunting expert friend Esmeralda to join him in vanquishing the trolls, protecting the children of Much Midland forever. The board has 15 segments, each with 4 gems. The wizard and Esmeralda start the game on opposite sides of the board. He moves in a clockwise direction and she in a counterclockwise direction. Players' turns begin with drawing an event card to determine if a child has been snatched this turn. Each player keeps a stock of 3 movement cards which match the gems. On their turn, players play all movement cards of a particular color on one character, who moves in its indicated direction, picking up gems on the way. Players work to get the wizard and Esmeralda opposite each other again. When they are, if they have the required gems, they can perform a spell to vanquish one of the trolls. Collected gems can also be used to ransom the kidnapped children. Players lose if anyone finishes their turn and all 5 children have been snatched. Players win when the last of the trolls is vanquished. We hope to bring the prototype to the remaining Board Games by the Bay events this year in Christchurch, Hamilton, and Auckland. And now for our announcement. This might not be news if you subscribe to the Cheeky Parrot quarterly newsletter, which went out earlier this month. And if you'd like to subscribe to that, there's a sign-up button on our Facebook page and on the landing page of our website. So over the lockdown period, designer of Flaming Pyramids, Norbert Abel, has been putting his considerable talents to use, preparing this game to be played on the Board Game Arena platform. For those who don't know it, Board Game Arena provides digitized versions of dozens of popular board games for play on a live or turn basis with strangers from around the world, or you can arrange to meet your friends to play games on there. We're very excited for the exposure that this will bring both Cheeky Parrot and Flaming Pyramids. We will be announcing on our social media channels when the beta test period is open, as that won't be publicly noted by Board Game Arena. And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or YouTube. Thanks for your time today. And here's a little picture of my inadvertent cheeky co-stars. Here are our other Cheeky Parrots, our 6 published titles, on sale across New Zealand for recommended retail between $20 and $30. We're always happy to hear from our fans. If you have questions about board games or you might have an idea for one, this is our contact email.